Well, hello. Welcome back. We have been on so many adventures. So, here in Scotland, the restaurants opened up July 15th to eat inside. So, we decided we were going to go all the way to Edinburgh and to eat at our favorite restaurant, the Beehive Inn. Ooh. Because it has steak ale pie that is to die for. So we drove all the way to Edinburgh last Thursday. So, a couple days ago, Thursday. Drove to Edinburgh. We did like a bunch of work before Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Not fun. The point is, Thursday, headed to Edinburgh, ate a delicious steak ale pie, wandered around the city, went shopping a little bit, just, glance around. And then we drove up to Dunkeld, stopping at a couple castles. I bought a new dress that came in the mail, and I'm so excited. It's in several of the photographs. I look fantastic. It was totally worth it. I can wear it to Hard Square. I've been wearing it to all the castles, as you'll see. And we got to see, it was some ruins. They weren't, open or anything. And we got to Dunkeld, and we hiked something called the Hermitage, which is this outlook that you can see over, and there's a waterfall and everything. And all this is on the East Coast area. And so, Dunkeld's in the middle, but we had to drive to Edinburgh, which is on the east. And so we saw the Hermitage, and I climbed on some rocks, and then Robert played music all night with his friends. We ate dinner, we waited forever for a sticky toffee pudding, which is besides the point. And then they played music on the beach, and there was like a bonfire, and one of the guys' daughters was there, and she was awesome. She's a sweet girl. And I played with the dog, obviously. And then I went back to the hotel, and Robert came back to the hotel, and we went to sleep. He got back at like 3 a.m. from playing music. And then we woke up the next morning, played with the kittens at one of the guys' house. Ugh, there's 6 of them. They're so cute. And then we continued our journey up to Aviemore, which is in like the central area. So it was the Cairngorms Park. It's like a national park, because they don't have state parks, because they don't have states. And it was really beautiful. It has this ancient forest, and we stopped, I think, at like a castle along the way. Barracks. We stopped at Barracks. Ruthven Barracks. They were cool. They were barracks. It could fit like 120 men or something, which was fascinating. It was a ruin. And then we went to the Green Loch, and had some long name. And it was funny because when you entered the Highlands, all the signs were in Gaelic and then English at the bottom. So it would be like just a bunch of letters. And then we'd be like, oh, okay, Fort William. We could see it on the bottom. And so we got to Aviemore, welcome to the Highlands. And all of a sudden, the mountains were just huge Munros everywhere, green and tall and snow. It was really wild. I mean, the Highlands are definitely a unique landscape towards the top. Like, it doesn't just like naturally flow down. It gets all up there. And so we went there, saw the Green Lake. Robert swam in the Green Lake. Not for me. I put my toes in, and it was pretty chilly. And then we packed it up and headed from Aviemore. Stopped at the candy store, obviously. Headed to Fort William, where we stayed another night. In Fort William, let's see, what did we do? We got there and we ate a delicious dinner. Robert had steak ale pie. It was so good. I got spaghetti. I should have gotten steak ale pie. Actually, I got tomato basil pasta, but I should have gotten steak ale pie. It was really good. And then we got another sticky toffee pudding, obviously, tour de food at a little like local pub in Fort William. And then we woke up the next morning. Our little guest house, it wasn't a hotel, it was a guest house, it was really cute. The guy was Canadian. He gave us the biggest room. He said it used to be a handicapped room, but not anymore, so you guys should take it. It's got a big bed and a big bath or shower. It was awesome. And he was really sweet. So we stayed there, and then this is Saturday. So then we woke up Sunday morning, and we went straight to the viaducts, the Glenfinnan Viaduct, which is the train railway, like a bridge almost over land, that is Harry Potter's filmed on. So in the second movie, when Ron and Harry are like, the train, and then the train's behind them, there's that big arched thing, the viaduct. That's what we went on. We hiked all around it, and it was beautiful. It was a beautiful day. It kept raining off and on. And then we saw a monument where Charles, the Bonnie Prince, declared war or something. Someone died there. I got to use my Latin skills and read all the numbers based off the letters. Felt very smart. Then we went from there to a shipwreck on the beach. We got to cross some locks, which was cool, just by foot. And we got to see this huge shipwreck. Robert was like, oh, it's wooden. It must be from like 1920, 1930s. I'm like, yeah, it's so old. Turns out it was from 1975. It was a fishing vessel. In a 2011 storm, it just washed ashore and they just left it there because it's really old. So not as exciting of a story as we wanted. I wanted like pirates and, it was washed up from war, or like this is what Mary Queen of Scots came over on. But no, it was a fishing boat. But it was huge. It's big, and then you get close to it and you're like, wow, this boat's massive. I mean, the freaking rudder was like twice my size. So it was big. And then we went from there to a castle, Inverloch Castle, which is like right outside Fort William. It's a ruin. Sorry. It's one of the oldest, like, intact ruins, I guess, full ruins, that wasn't, like, built onto. So it stayed in its original form. It was never, like, moved or relocated or built up or whatever. So it just stayed the same, and then they left. And when we got there, Robert jumped out of the car, and I'm putting my little dress on, my little costume, and Robert jumped out and said, the train's here. I said, what train? And he was like, he said, the steam engine, the locomotive. Like, what are you talking about? And he was like, smell it. It smells like Tweetsie Railroad. I just know it. So we like rounded this corner, and he was right. Like, the Harry Potter train was right there in this, like, I don't know, not a shipyard, because it's not a ship, a train yard, like behind this big gate, and we could see it, and it started churning out smoke, and it went along and locomotived along, and it was so funny because he knew. He said, that's Tweetsie Railroad. I know that smell, because he went to Tweetsie Railroad like his whole life. It was really funny. So he was all excited. And we got to see it for a second. And then we got back in the car, and we drove to Glasgow and returned the car. It was just one big grand adventure, doing all this stuff. I put a lot of pictures, so I didn't want to take a lot of time talking. Sorry, there's something in my eye. A lot of photographs of all of our adventures. So yeah, that is what we did. I'm trying to think. We're trying to figure out what we're going to do this weekend. We might just, pop by the Canary Islands. Maybe go to Prague. Who knows? The country's open, so we're trying to... Sorry, there's really something in my eye. Europe is open and the country's open, so we're going to try to start inching our way into some fun European times. So who knows what we'll do. We have a list of things we want to go, or things we want to do and places we want to go. So fingers crossed. We're hoping other castles start opening up soon, because I want to see the inside. I don't want to just walk around the grounds. So fingers crossed. See you guys next time. Bye.
went etive. Hey, look. You know, just coming to visit the relatives. Gotta see if they're home. There's my uncle. There's old granddad.
Guess not
No one's home.
No heavy guns were ever in place here. Yep. Oh my gosh, shit is freezing. Go underwater. Go underwater. Go underwater. Wow, he's crazy. Well done, sir.
All right, stop filming. Oh look, a dog that has actually made friends with Elodie.
Hello, yes. Hello, hello, hello. Oh my gracious. Hey, Elodie has the same collar as you. My dog has the same.
Oh, look at Robert. Look, look, your mom would freak out. It's resting its face. Look. Do you see it right here? Look, 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 look. Well, that one just messed it up. Did you see it though?
This could either be really great or on American Funniest Home Videos. And she sticks the landing. Now, if she jumps that notch.